The morning sunlight slipped quietly through the classroom windows, painting soft lines across the desks. Students of Class 9B chatted, laughed, and settled into their seats. Bags dropped, chairs scraped, and the usual noise filled the room. But in the last row, near the window, one chair remained empty. No one touched it. No one even placed a book on it. It had been like that for weeks. The bell rang. Their teacher walked in and opened the attendance register. One by one, she called the names. Aisha? Present, ma'am. Bilal? Present. She continued until her voice slowed at a familiar name. Rahim. Silence. A heavy silence that everyone in the room felt. Some students lowered their heads. Others stared at the desk. Samir didn't move at all. His eyes were fixed on that empty chair. The teacher quietly marked absent and moved on, but the atmosphere had already changed. Rahim used to sit there, Samir's best friend. They had shared everything: lunch, homework, jokes, even dreams. Rahim wasn't the loudest student, but he had a warm smile that made people feel comfortable. Whenever Samir felt nervous, Rahim would whisper, "Relax, you've got this." And somehow, Samir always did. Samir remembered the last day Rahim came to school. He had arrived late, slightly out of breath, but smiling like always. "Sorry, Yar," Rahim had said, dropping into his seat. "Had to help Abu this morning." Samir had joked, "One day you'll be famous for being late." Rahim laughed. "Just don't give my seat to anyone if I'm not here." Samir bumped his shoulder. "This seat is yours. Always." Neither of them knew how serious those words would become. A few days later, Rahim stopped coming to school. At first, everyone thought he was sick. Then came the announcement in assembly, short, formal, and devastating. Rahim had passed away after a late-night accident while helping his family. Since that day, the chair stayed empty. Samir still kept half his desk clear, as if Rahim might walk in any time. During lunch, he would open 2 packets before realizing he was alone. The laughter felt quieter now. One afternoon, the English teacher gave the class an assignment. Write about someone who changed your life. Pens started moving across papers, but Samir stared at the blank page. After a long pause, he finally began writing. "My best friend is not here anymore, but he still sits beside me. I don't hear his voice, yet I remember every word he said. When I feel scared, I imagine him saying, 'Don't give up.'" Samir folded the paper carefully. Instead of submitting it, he placed it on Rahim's empty chair before leaving. The next morning, he arrived early. His heart beat faster as he walked toward the desk. The paper was gone. In its place lay a small note. "Keep going." Samir froze. He picked it up, reading it again and again. The handwriting wasn't familiar. He looked around the empty classroom, confused. When other students arrived, he asked them, but everyone denied knowing anything. All day, Samir couldn't stop thinking about it. After school, he returned to the chair and placed another small note. "I miss you. I don't know who wrote yesterday's message, but it helped." The next day, another reply waited. "You're stronger than you think." Samir felt something shift inside him. For the first time since Rahim left, he smiled, just a little. Days passed. Samir kept writing short messages, sometimes about tests, sometimes about memories, sometimes about fear. And every time, a reply appeared. "Believe in yourself. Try again." He would be proud. Slowly, Samir started raising his hand in class. His marks improved. He joined a group activity. Teachers noticed the change. But one question stayed in his mind. Who was writing the notes? And more importantly, why did it feel like Rahim was still sitting right beside him? The empty chair was no longer just a memory. It was becoming something else, something that was quietly changing Samir's life. The notes continued to appear every morning, always placed neatly on the empty chair. Samir began coming to school earlier than usual, his heart filled with curiosity and a strange sense of comfort. Whoever was writing them knew exactly what he needed to hear. One day, before a difficult math test, Samir left a message. "I studied, but I'm still nervous. I don't want to fail." The next morning, the reply read, "Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it." Samir read the line twice. He took a deep breath, folded the note, and slipped it into his pocket. During the test, whenever panic tried to take over, he remembered those words. He finished the paper calmly. When the results came, Samir had scored one of the highest marks in class. His teacher smiled. "Excellent improvement, Samir. Keep it up." The class clapped, but Samir's eyes went straight to the empty chair. He whispered softly, "We did it." Weeks passed, and the quiet exchange became part of Samir's routine. He wrote about small victories, bad days, and even memories of Rahim. The replies were always short, but meaningful. "I helped a new student today." Reply, "Kindness keeps friendships alive." "I felt lonely during lunch." Reply, "Look around. You're not as alone as you think." Gradually, Samir began noticing things he had ignored before. A shy boy who always sat in the corner, a girl who struggled with reading, a group of students who seemed left out. He started talking to them, sharing notes, and helping with homework. The empty chair was teaching him something deeper. Friendship wasn't just about holding on to the past, but about creating new bonds. One rainy afternoon, school ended early. Most students rushed home, but Samir stayed back. He walked slowly toward the chair and placed a longer letter. "I don't know who you are, but you changed me. I'm not scared anymore. I'm trying to be the friend Rahim was. Thank you." He left the classroom, unaware that someone had seen him. The next day, there was no note. Samir waited. He checked again, after lunch. Still nothing. For the first time, the chair felt truly empty again. A wave of worry filled his chest. Had the mysterious writer stopped? Had he done something wrong? Just before the final bell, Samir returned one last time. His hands trembled slightly as he approached the desk. There it was, a folded paper. He opened it carefully. "You don't need my notes anymore. You've found your own strength." Samir's eyes filled with tears. The message felt like a goodbye, but also like a proud smile from afar. He sat quietly in front of the chair, thinking about everything that had changed. He was no longer the quiet boy who stared at the floor. He had friends now. He spoke in class. He helped others. Rahim's memory had turned into something powerful. As Samir stood up to leave, he noticed something unusual. The classroom door was slightly open, and someone quickly walked away down the corridor. Samir couldn't see who it was, but for the first time, he realized that the mystery might soon be revealed, and when it did, it would change everything once again.